Season of strikes, wouldn't you say?
I would say, actually. And
Wow.
it goes a long way to say that our governments are very serious.
I do agree with you,
Yeah,
yes.
absolutely
Yes.
serious.
Labor is protesting. They want to go on strike for some reason or the other. Waterworks are on strike already.
In Lagos State.
ASU is threatening to go on strike. Everybody is threatening to go on strike.
Yeah, and I mean, let's take the case of ASU. After a protracted strike action 2 years ago, I think, people begged ASU to take whatever government was going to offer them, and ASU eventually agreed. You know, they conceded ground so much that even many of their members were angry with the leadership at that time. But they said, okay, you know what? Let's not just allow people to see us as troublemakers. Let's accept government terms. Agreements were signed, and then 2 years after, government has reneged on practically all the
But
agreements.
that seems to be normal.
That's the way that's what I'm saying. That's normal. That's
Yes.
normal in governance. And so I don't know why ASU wants to go on strike again. They should have just accepted it, you know, as what God wants for the country.
Yeah, but if government has said, okay, we're going to do, we can't do what you're asking, but we'll do this, and ASU accepts that, it behoves on government to at least do that which they themselves have said they're going to do.
If government does that, then government will not be living up to its own expectations. Because, I mean, governance, as you know, especially in the last 2 decades, is about not honoring agreements.
Oh dear.
So government will not be living up to its own expectation if it honors the agreement. Now, ASU has been talking in the last 3 weeks that he wants to go on strike. I haven't seen any high-ranking government official comment on that or invite them for discussion. Or they're going to wait for them to go on strike. They're going to wait for tools to be downed. Then maybe after 2 or 3 months, they'll start inviting them to a talk. And then you're going to hear things like, dialogue is what we need. Dialogue is what we solve our problems. Meanwhile, productive man hours have been lost. The young people in the universities and colleges of education, well, many of them will have been distracted.
Jobless.
They will have become, some of them
would have become armed robbers in the meantime.
In the meantime, whatever it is that they have in their brains now, even though we're saying the quality of education is not much to write home about, will be dissipated into some other things. So I don't know. It just seems as if governance in Nigeria has become, well, I don't want to use the adjective that readily comes to mind, but honestly, we can't continue like this. If we're going to have transformation, if we're talking about transformation agenda, if we're talking about attaining some 2020 objective, this is no way.
This is the end of 2011, by the way.
9 years to go. So there's no way we're going to attain any of those objectives. I mean, it's not a cause.
I mean,
if we
when
continue
are
to behave like
Nigerians
this.
going to just have a month of smooth sailing everything?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have any peace. We're dissipating our energies, pursuing things that we shouldn't even be thinking about. Power, water. I mean, look at all the revelations about what coming out about the water, about the chemicals being used for the water not being up to scratch and stuff like that. I mean, this is also embarrassing.
To put it mildly.
And Waterworks has been on strike now. Today is day 5. So, I mean, water is, as far as I'm concerned, essential service.
Water no get enemy. So maybe the government.
So what is going on? There's nothing in the papers today I haven't seen telling us the situation about that. When are Lagosians going to get their water supply? I mean, it doesn't supply much of Lagos, but the few people who get it, you know.
Let them at least benefit from the government. And then later they will start talking about outbreak of epidemic and all of that. How do you prevent epidemic?
Even when there was water, we had the issue with cholera and
Yeah.
typhoid and all that, let alone when there's no water. I mean, the repercussions of this is going to just spiral into other things, and we'll have our hospitals full of dying children.